Hi students, it's good to see you back again. We are now in week 15, the last week for the first semester. So this week our topic will be about pretty much about summary and reviewing all the materials from the first week until last week. So as you can see over here, the topic is about reflective writing. So let's check the material for this week. So as you can see, the outline over here is about the review, and then week 15 topic, which is the reflective writing, and then we will do week 1 until week 14 review, and then we'll do some individual writing. So very quickly we'll have a review. So last week we have done a discussion about digital divide, and all of you, I would say all of you who are joining the class actually involved in an online FGD, and one of you become the leaders, and some of you are actually being the monitor or writing the summary. So from that practice, how can you actually see the implementation of critical thinking? How can you practice critical thinking in FGD? In other words, that's the question. How can you practice critical thinking in FGD? Do you think that FGD is actually a good tool for you to be able to practice your critical thinking or not? If yes, then how do you practice critical thinking through the activity of FGD? Okay, so for this question, I'm not going to ask you to post it in YouTube comment, but I'm going to ask you later in our practicum session. So please prepare your answer. So now we are coming to the topic of week 15, which is reflective writing. I think from this picture you can see that it is it's clearly describing the reflection of a tree, and then there's a book over there. So reflective writing is pretty much a reflection to yourself towards the learning process that you have learned over this semester. So first of all, we're going to look at the definition of reflective writing from the experts. So what is reflective writing? Well, reflective writing involves consciously thinking about and analyzing what one have done or is doing, and uses the first person. So it's about you and how you have done so far. Okay, so if you bring it to the English classes, then how have you yourself, the first person, gone or have done over the semester from the materials that you have learned from week 1 until week 14. Okay, and then you will translate all of those reflection in a piece of writing. So a reflective piece of writing requires you to map the progress and changes, if there is, in your thinking about a subject, a topic, or a learning journey, and make sense of it. So you are going to write down the progress and the changes about a subject, about this subject particularly. Okay? And then I'll go on to the reflection from Geller and Gorky, 2016. They say the reflection involves thinking about why we do things. So why in the first place you study English, and whether they have gone as we thought they would, why we think they may have worked well, and how we might do them differently next time. So for example, for English course, then you can say what is actually your expectation from this course, and how have you done with it, and then how you might do it differently next time. Like for example, if I want to improve, then what is my strategy? What would I do differently in the next semester? Okay, so that is pretty much a reflective writing. So obviously, before you do a reflective writing, you need to review all the materials that you have learned first. So here, in the next slide, I'm going to show you again the materials from Unit 1 until Unit 14. So starting from Week 1, Unit 1. So in Unit 1, in Week 1, we were talking about encounters, which means meeting someone. And then the grammar that we discussed was about expressions of formal and informal greetings. For Week 2, we were discussing about academic life, and the grammar that we discussed was about imperative in a form of positive and negative. And for Week 3, we are discussing about the topic of home industry. And for the grammar, we also discuss about the expressions of used to and used for, and also made of or made from. I think everybody has mastered the use of these grammar expressions. For Week 4, we are discussing about environment topic, and then we also discuss about the function of modal verbs and the use of it in sentences. And you also write down a little bit about campaign on the environment protection. And for Week 5, we are discussing about the topic of advertisement and also the strategies to do advertisement. And for the grammar discussion, we were talking about the types of sentences. There are 4 types of sentences: simple, compound, complex, and then compound complex. Yeah. Okay, next for Week 6, we are talking about online market as our topic. And then the grammar discussion was about giving advices on how to shop online safely. So we are using the modal verbs for giving advices. And the last week before we had our midterm exam, we were talking about the product design and the considerations of why people do a product design requirement. And then we also discuss some grammar of adjectives related to the production. Now after our midterm exam, we come back with the materials of product design related to product design, which is the production. And we also talk about the use of pie chart and then the writing of information in the pie chart using the transitional markers. That is the topic for Week 9. And then for Week 10, we are going backwards. We are talking about past tense. We are discussing the topic of inventor and invention. And I think there are plenty of inventors product that we were discussing at that time. And then we are also using the past tense to describe their invention. And then for Week 11, we are talking about future tense because we were talking about the topic of future transportation. And from Week 11, I can see actually some of you have brilliant ideas about future transportation looks like in the future, which is very good. Now for Week 12, we came to the topic of gadgets. It's actually more of the development of gadgets from the past, present, and future. Therefore, we're using the grammar of past tense, present tense, and future tense. And you're also having an assignment over the explanation of one type of gadgets and its development over the years. And then we come to the last weeks of this semester. Week 13, we were discussing about e-sport and then the expressions of agreement and disagreement about certain topics in e-sport. While in week 14, we are discussing about the topic of digital divide, which is quite IT related. And then we are also still talking about the expressions of agreement and disagreement in a form of focus group discussion. And it was actually a very good online focus group discussion that you have brought last week. Now, after having a review from the materials, now on your own, I want you to write down a reflective writing on your progress over the semester. So there are 5 questions that you need to cover in your reflective writing. The first one is, what was your expectation for the course? So starting from the beginning of the course, do you actually have a personal expectation over this course? For example, I must be able to speak English after I finish English 1. And then number 2, how have you progressed over the semester? Can you actually speak in English over the semester? And how can you apply the knowledge in your study? So the knowledge that you have learned, like for example, the academic life, the e-sport, the digital divide, do you think that you can actually apply this knowledge in your study in informatics engineering or computer technology? And then for number 4, what do you think that you need to improve for your own betterment? So for example, I'm able to speak in English, but I have broken grammar. So I need to improve myself in terms of grammar. And then whether at the end, the course actually meets your expectation or not. If yes, why? If no, why? Yeah, so please write down on your own, and then later on in our practicum session, we will have a discussion. We will have a look at your reflective writing. So there are plenty of ways to do reflective writing. You can actually write it in the form of paragraph, and you can also write it down in the form of tables like this. So this is just an example I give to you. You don't have to follow this. You can also go with your own ways of reflective writing. So here I'm putting the week, and then the topic, and then what I learned, how I progressed, and then you can actually add more information over here. Yeah, so what I learned, how I progress, and what needs to be improved from this material, for example. The thing is that in a reflective writing, you need to be able to see your own progress starting from the beginning until the end of the material, because you are going to reflect on how you progress and how you are actually getting better in this course. If you think that you're not getting better, then should be an evaluation in the reflective writing. For example, maybe because the material is too hard, or maybe I was not very committed to learning English at this time. Okay, so there should be an evaluation also in this reflective writing. So with this reflective writing, after you've done it, we're going to check it later in the practicum session. And that would bring us to the end of our last material for this semester. I know some of you are excited as I am for the holiday. I hope most of you are. So we are going to have our final test. If I'm not mistaken, it will be on Tuesday, the second day of the final test week, and then everything should be good because you already prepare yourself. The questions are in form of multiple choices. All of the questions are from week 1 until week 14, including the grammar, the vocabularies, and some general knowledge about the topics later on. Yeah, so that should be all for this semester, everyone. For this week and for this semester, thank you very much for your cooperation for the whole semester. I appreciate your hard work, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next semester. Goodbye, everyone.